by week 2, but there's been some injuries, or I have to see. So this is mostly what I kind of know are the top 10 teams. In 2 weeks, there's 3 teams I like a lot that aren't here that could possibly be in here. So here we go. Number 10.
Herd hierarchy.
Yeah. Time is now. Let's go.
The top 10 NFL teams according to Colin. Number 10.
L.A. Rams. Sean McVay, let's not go crazy here. The fewest games he's ever won is 9. A year ago, we said he was the next Belichick. They're bringing back Sean McVay, Jared Goff, a lot of the same pieces. They've also, by the way, the star of the camp has been rookie wide receiver Van Jefferson, and they're already loaded at receiver. Cam Akers, by the way, has also had a great camp, replacing Todd Gurley. Joy and I said this last year. I thought it was addition by subtraction. I thought Gurley, eggshells. I thought the whole organization was walking on eggshells with Todd Gurley. I don't think it was a great locker room last year. Let's just not sell our stock. McVay is a great coach. This roster still has the best defensive tackle in football. Jalen Ramsey, star receivers, Rams 10.
Number 9.
Green Bay. I like Green Bay because I do think linebacking core, back end of their defense is more formidable. I think their division is easier. Now, here's the bad news. Devontae Adams led this team in catches last year, receiving yards, and he missed a month. They don't really have a second guy in the perimeter that you can trust. And also Aaron Rodgers' last 3 years, Pro Football Focus has been brutally honest, has not been the same quarterback. But I think their back end of their defense is formidable. I think they have a chance to win their division. I don't think the Rams do, so the Packers at 9.
Number 8.
Coin flip, I'll go with Minnesota because I like their overall roster better. Stephon Diggs, losing him hurts, but they have Adam Thielen, good tight ends, Delvin Cook. I don't think they're a Super Bowl team. And I said that about Green Bay last year. I thought they were a 9-7 team that got to 13-3. They got blown out by the Niners in the NFC Championship. Kirk Cousins is 6-29 in the regular season against winning teams. We got a book on him. He's a good quarterback. He's got a real low ceiling. He gets tight in big games. I like their coach, Mike Zimmer, although I think he's a bit conservative for my taste. This is a very well-run, smartly built, great GM, really good organization. I just think they have a ceiling. Them and the Packers, to me, is a coin flip. I like the Vikings roster more, but Aaron Rodgers is special.
Number 7.
Seattle. They gave up 381 yards a game last year. That was the worst in the Pete Carroll era. Now, they went and got Jamal Adams, who is a playmaker, and they got Quentin Dunbar, trade with Washington. So the secondary will be better. There is no question. They will be better on the back end. They still have Bobby Wagner. They have Russell Wilson. My issues with Seattle, I've got them lower than a lot of people. It's a tough division. I do not like their offensive line, and their defensive line is one of the worst in the NFL. I think they've upgraded on the back end. And Jamal Adams will play linebacker as much as he does safety. So they've got 3 unbelievable players. Russell Wilson, Bobby Wagner, Jamal Adams, but too many holes on the line, only at 7.
Number 6.
Philadelphia, fewer holes than Seattle without perhaps having 3 superstar players. They're one of 4 teams in the NFL that's made the playoffs each of the last 3 years, and that's with a ton of injuries at wide receiver, a ton of injuries at quarterback, a ton of injuries in the secondary. They added Darius Slay, who I think is a top 3 corner in the NFL. They went and drafted a wide receiver in the first round, and they can't possibly be as injury-riddled as last year. It's not possible. I also think it's a pretty drab division, whereas Seattle's got 2 games against the Niners, 2 against the Rams. Eagles get the Giants twice and Washington twice. That feels 4-0 to me. Eagles at 6.
Number 5.
Tampa Bay. Listen, this team with 40 turnovers was 7-7 through 14 games last year. Brady's here. Gronk's here. Shady McCoy. Leonard Fournette. Tristan Wirfs, right tackle. They have made massive upgrades. Also, it's Bruce Arians' second year. It's Todd Bowles' second year. Don't overthink the room here. All these critics of Brady, folks, they made massive personnel changes. It's the second year with a coach and a very smart defensive coordinator. Tampa Bay at 5.
Number 4.
Saints are a Super Bowl team. I always say my final 4 should be Super Bowl favorites. Added 2 really smart veterans, Malcolm Jenkins, the safety, and Emmanuel Sanders, to a Super Bowl level roster. So they added maturity. Why does that matter? Because we didn't have a preseason. We didn't have OTAs. Smart veteran playmakers. Malcolm Jenkins, Emmanuel Sanders to a great roster, ready to perform Game 1, Saints 4.
Number 3.
49ers, don't outthink the room. They led the Chiefs for 3 quarters. They outplayed Kansas City for 3 quarters. Best young coach in football. Garoppolo's 21-5 as a starter. Can we stop banging on Jimmy Garoppolo? Good God, he was 21-5. As good as Kyle Shanahan was, he couldn't win until Garoppolo got healthy.
Number 2.
Kansas City returns 18 of 22 starters. I don't think they've come close to hitting their peak. Even Patrick Mahomes was 11th in completion percentage and 7th in passer rating. I don't think he's close to his ceiling. They're only going to get better, and Andy Reid made a great point this week. He goes, a lot of times teams win Super Bowls and they get flashy and crazy and they party too much. He goes, we couldn't. There's a pandemic. We couldn't go out. So we just kept our head down and coached football and played football and practiced football. Love the Chiefs.
Number 1.
Baltimore, I have them at 16-0. I don't. It's really funny about this whole Lamar thing. Lamar Jackson, what do you need to see? He was better at the end of last year than the beginning. They're fine. They've added Calais Campbell on the defensive front. The Earl Thomas loss, I don't think hurts much because I think their corners are great and their pass rush is better. There's nothing I don't like about this team. I like their work ethic. I like their front office. I love their coach. I like the way the coach and the quarterback embrace each other. And I love that Lamar Jackson's got a total chip on his shoulder. I love it. He just, every offseason, he's like, I listen to my critics. I got to get better. And he does. He's got to play better from behind. That's a real thing. But I think the Ravens have a chance to go 16-0, and that sounds ridiculous. But I think in a season where we've got no preseason, these veteran teams or these teams with returning quarterbacks and coaching stars will do very well. All right, now, I don't have Cleveland in. I have them 11. I don't have Denver in. I have them 12. I don't have Buffalo in. I have them 13. Again, I don't know what Stefanski looks like as a head coach. Just give me a week. So I have Cleveland 11. Denver lost their right tackle, so now I don't like Denver at either tackle spot. I love the rest of their roster, but I can't go with a team in the top 10 they're struggling already at left tackle. Now they lost their right tackle with a young quarterback. And Buffalo, I think they coached the hell out of that team, but Josh Allen scares me. And with that, one of the great left tackles in the history of football, 11 NFL seasons and 11 Pro Bowls. Yeah, he was good day one, is Joe Thomas, NFL Network analyst, joining us now via the Coward Global Satellite Network.